In Mexico, they call avocados green gold because they're worth nearly $3 billion in exports every year. But every day, those avocados suck up 9.5 billion litres of water. I'm travelling to 2 different growing areas to see how that thirst affects growing techniques and the impact technology can have where water is scarce. My first stop is with Manuel Macias, an agronomist at a farm in Michoacán state in western Mexico. Here, the fertile land and abundant water sources make it easy to grow avocados without using irrigation technology.
El número de frutos por árbol no se puede ser un porcentaje de, por ejemplo, en este tipo de árboles puede ser unas 200 kilos, 300.
Wow. Mexico produces close to half the world's avocados, the vast majority in Michoacán. But with worldwide demand estimated to be growing at around 6% a year, other states here are trying to cash in. Not that it's easy.
Tienen que invertir mucho más para igualar la producción, o sea, para que sea rentable. Es más costoso producir.
My next stop is with a farmer who can't rely on nature to manage a more limited and precious water supply. We need to make sure we travel there by daylight. That's because in some places, this lucrative industry has been targeted by organised crime, and it's too dangerous at night. We've just seen how avocados are grown traditionally in Michoacán. Now I'm on the way to the neighbouring state of Jalisco to see how a farm uses irrigation technology. In Jalisco state, water is in high demand. About 80% or more of the available water supply is used every year. Antonio Martin's farm is on a hill, and at the top, a pump draws water up from a deep well to fill this large reservoir.
En el que pasa el agua de este reservorio a través de una computadora que le administra los nutrientes orgánicos, por supuesto, y la distribuye por las mangueras de riego, ¿no?
Drip irrigation was developed in Israel in the 1960s. It can significantly reduce water consumption, help combat soil degradation, and boost yields. Antonio has had this irrigation system for 5 years.
La diferencia entre tener un sistema de riego y no tenerlo es abismal, ¿no? La producción puede ser del doble, por ejemplo, o más.
Avocados are actually far from being the thirstiest food to produce. Rice, chicken, beef, and chocolate use much more water. But in the last 2 decades, water consumption for avocado production has doubled in Mexico, so anything that can slow that thirst is worthwhile. 85% of orchards in Jalisco now use drip irrigation or micro sprinklers. Oscar Gonzalez's company provides the irrigation system on Antonio's farm.
Here we actually have the brain of the system. It's actually a very sophisticated irrigation controller. It actually knows when to irrigate, how to irrigate, for how much time, what kind of fertilizers do you want to inject into the system.
The system is linked to Antonio's computer where he can make adjustments, but he's already looking to increase its sophistication.
El siguiente paso es instalar un sistema en el que estaremos monitoreando la humedad del suelo vía remota al teléfono y poder controlar la humedad de las distintas zonas del rancho para darles la humedad necesaria a cada árbol precisamente en el momento en que la necesitan.
At the moment, only about 1.5% of farmland globally uses precision irrigation. But the global drip irrigation market alone is projected to grow from $5.5 billion in 2020 to more than $9 billion in 2025, according to Markets and Markets. High capital costs means its use tends to be limited to cash crops, like avocados. But as the planet's temperature rises, along with the demand for food, the use of irrigation systems, either as complex as Antonio's or simpler, will almost certainly have to rise too.